our big story is that
Ah,
there is a movie coming out called Finding Jack, and it will be the fourth film starring James Dean.
no, no, just no.
It's oh god, is this the guy? Okay, Anton Ernst is the director on this thing. It's a movie about, I don't know, dogs in the Vietnam War. Who gives a shit? Um,
I don't even know what it's about. I just read the James Dean thing and was offended and just didn't read further.
yeah, it's. I think it's about like somebody rescuing a dog when they're in Vietnam during the Vietnam War, or some such shit. Either way, there's a character in there called Rogan, and this is the quote from Anton Ernst. He said, "We searched high and low for the perfect character to portray the role of Rogan, which has some extreme complex character arcs, and after months of research, we decided on James Dean."
Like the porn star named James Dean? Like,
Nope.
oh
Guys,
god, no.
after a ton of research and many months of thinking it over, looking for the next president of the United States, I really decided that Franklin Delano Roosevelt is the best possible fucking choice.
I was just like, did this guy like stumble upon the Necronomicon and was like, wow, I found out how to bring people back from the dead. Let's what zombie human do I want this time?
It's just the most preposterous thing. Because number one, do you really think James Dean would want to star in a dog film? No.
Oh,
And number two, it's kind of like a massive slap in the face for actors everywhere being like, so yeah, every actor in the world was not as good as James Dean could be in this role. All of them were found wanting.
yes.
None of them could deal with the complexity of this character arc, which, by the way, isn't a dog film. It's, I
Can they
just
not just get Dane DeHaan that looks just like James
He
Dean to
does, yeah.
Yeah,
like
you
Get
could.
Dane. What's he doing
Yeah,
nowadays?
he's a
again,
I
good
like
haven't
actor.
heard of
there's
him in a
no
while.
Valerian sequel, like just give it to me.
Throw him in there. Ah,
Ah,
that reminded me that I really like Lawless, starring Shia
Yeah.
LaBeouf.
yeah.
Sorry.
Sure, yeah, I remember Lawless.
Double back. Um, yeah, it's really stupid. There's been a backlash from it. I think the most notable one was Chris Evans like tweeting out something condemning it because it's stupid, and it is stupid. It's not like, okay, if say he had shot half a fourth movie, you know,
And they wanted to finish it.
yeah, that I would question for different reasons, but at least I would
Yeah.
understand CGIing James Dean into it.
Yeah, and also I think like the most important thing, the thing that I mean, I'm not gonna like get my knickers massively into twist about it, but essentially it's kind of borderline offensive because if someone's half worked in a film, you know that at some point in their life they said, I want to do this.
Hmm.
James Dean is dead.
Yeah.
James Dean, the like of all the things, the man should be allowed to rest in peace. He should be allowed to have control over. It's not even like his image. It's literally a weird, fucked up version of himself. He
Yeah.
should be allowed to have control over that and be like, no thanks.
And this is a man that, as far as I can tell, has no connection to James Dean. He's just like, you know what?
Yeah,
I like James Dean.
So
it's
James Dean's
just
family did sign off on this.
They did, but why wouldn't they? They want money.
yeah.
Agreed,
It's like
but
this is what it is, isn't it?
if his own family doesn't care about it as much, I'm not. Again, I'm so in the middle about this. Not that I care. I have multiple feelings. I think if this had a different director, I don't think people, or if let's say Tarantino was doing this for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I don't think many people would complain about it. I think it's the fact that this is a bad, quote unquote, bad movie, or not an esteemed director doing this or handling this. I don't think there's that level of
Uh,
trust.
well, I mean,
Um,
there's that for sure, but I
Yeah,
mean,
I think you do have a point there.
If Tarantino was doing that to make, like, I don't know, James Dean pop up in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood as James Dean, that's still a waste of money, but that's at least kind of
yeah.
understandable. Like, you're doing the character to be the character, not to be like the only actor that we thought could play this died like 70 years
Yeah.
ago or
I
whatever.
didn't know all of that before we got into this because again, and then my other feeling is I've been feeling this coming. The way we started redoing people's young de-aged face, like I can go back to the
Mm,
Tron Legacy movie, what
Mhm.
they did with
yeah.
Carrie Fisher in Rogue One, what they did with the other actor in Rogue One for
Yeah,
Tarkin.
Peter Cushing. That I mean, as soon
See,
as I
that was
saw
the start
that,
of it,
that was yeah. I made the
and
comment to somebody shortly after that. I was like, I understood why they did it here, but that is eventually they're going to just bring back dead actors and put them in
and
things.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's opening a can of worms, isn't it? And even this does link to The Irishman. Technically, for the majority of the film, Robert De Niro and Al Pacino have these de-aged faces,
Hmm.
but it didn't annoy me as much as I thought it would. I kind of got over it, and I get
yes,
that in that film they wanted to act every scene, they wanted to be in it, and
Yeah,
Scorsese wanted to direct them. And if it's going through someone's life, and Al Pacino and Robert De Niro are getting on a bit, it's a bit of a waste to cast them and then be like, oh, but we'll just use other actors in 80% of your scenes.
yeah.
Like, I
See,
yes.
get
yeah, the
that.
de-aging
Well,
of the actual actors that you're using doesn't bother me at all.
see, and I have a minor issue with that as well. As one, we would not have an Al Pacino career if he didn't get to the chance to do that in Godfather 2, where he played a younger version of a character. Why couldn't we get younger actors that resemble
You mean De
or
Niro?
feel like,
Yeah.
or yeah, De Niro. Sorry, De Niro.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we get actors that feel and look like these characters as well? So again, we're already taking away acting jobs from younger
Well,
actors to
no,
de-age
I mean,
this 80-year-old
yeah,
dude. Like
I do
so
agree with that. I don't.
I
I
think
don't want
we're
to open
ready.
door.
Yeah,
I don't want to open the door where that is just what happens all the time, and no young actors get a look in. Because sometimes I really love when you see a film and they have cast a young version, and you are like, wow, that's really impressive casting, and I enjoy that. And I don't wouldn't want to take that away, but I
I
feel
mean
like
Michael
in certain
Fassbender, Ian
situations.
McKellen from
Sorry.
X-Men was Michael Fassbender and
Yeah.
Ian McKellen was one that I always remember going, it's not exactly there, but I feel it, and
It
I like
works.
that feeling, and I think it takes away, and I knew this was all going to open up the de-aging, the Peter Cushing and Rogue One. I knew it was coming, so that's why this doesn't shock
Yeah.
me. I'm not a fan of this. I don't think it should happen,
I don't
but
know if
I
I'm
definitely
shocked as much as I find it hilarious.
it's a mess.
It's
It's again
it's
once
just
you
stupid. I
yeah
just like I
once you told me oh I couldn't find a better actor, I'm like, oh, now my whole
that's a
argument's out the
slap in the
Uh,
window.
face.
his
This is
response,
hilarious. But
Anton Ernst's response to the backlash was this. This is the quote: "We don't really understand it. We never intended this for to be a. We never intended for this to be a marketing gimmick." Okay.
Mm, biggest lie I have ever heard. That's exactly the point I was going to make. This is nothing but a cash grab. Without fake James Dean in your film, I'm not saying the film won't have some fans, but it is nothing compared to the level of this. It doesn't matter if it's a backlash. If his family have signed up on it, it's probably going to happen.
Mhm.
And some people may stay away from seeing the film and a protest, but you can damn well know that loads are going to go and see it because they're going to morbid curiosity, I guess. And I
Yeah.
just and just briefly on James Dean as well. Like the guy is known for Live Fast, Die Young. That's James Dean. He
Mm.
made 3 films in his career: East of Eden, Rebel Without Cause, and Giant. All of which, to various levels, are considered classics. I've seen all 3 of those films. I think they are brilliant. So from this personal point of view of being James Dean, they're shitting all over his legacy. Like people probably don't remember he only made 3 films. So why are you going to put dead James Dean in a 4th film? And why would you make it such a terrible one?
and
Yeah.
what blows my mind is this does have. I don't want to say it's a compliment to James Dean because they are disrespecting him, but this really does say a lot about this guy who was literally in only 3 movies
Yeah,
and his impact on this industry. And not that he
his
has no impact. Again, there's so many
cultural
actors that
impact.
yeah, I've so many actors, male actors, try to do photo shoots that look like his and stuff.
Yeah,
It's interesting though, and I'm not the biggest fan of him. I like scandalous Hollywood James Dean in his personal life, like with Marlon Brando. Oh, with those two together. I like more of that stuff than him in the movies, but it blows my mind of like, damn, I love to see, and I wish he could be here. This wouldn't be the issue to see that like we want to bring you back from the dead because no one was as good as you. And I'm like,
The thing is,
wow, but there's also been other great
the
actors like
thing that fucking
since
gets me
Dean.
is
Yeah,
that there's going to have to be somebody acting this.
It's going to be Dane
yeah.
DeHaan, and I would be pissed.
Like if you can find the person that's going to deliver these lines properly and then that has the physicality that you're looking for, then guess what, you fucking didn't need James Dean.
So,
No, this
in
might even be an
fairness, you have reminded me. I half read somewhere that they are going to be using, I think, his voice. I think they're going to try and piece stuff together from what they have. But yeah, regardless of that, there's going to be someone
Lord, wait, so like
physically standing
60-year-old
there.
fucking recordings? We're gonna
I was
clean
gonna say
those
he's
I,
gonna
up.
I,
sound
don't,
like
I don't know.
he's gonna sound
That
like the
wasn't me
movie
defending
phone
it.
guy. He's just gonna be like, "Hi, hello, I am James Dean. This is
My
my
goodness,
character."
you have.
Yeah,
This is my dog. I love him so much,
I
or
see,
whatever
there's so
that's going
many
to be about.
words that I don't even think he used. Oh God,
Yeah,
again,
this is what
they
we're going to
have
find
me
out.
for pure morbid curiosity though, and I guess that's half of
Yeah.
it. Is I'm not gonna go pay to see this, but I have to at least see a clip on YouTube of what
Yeah.
this looks like. Like they got me in with the gimmick again. I like a good cheap, shitty movie gimmick, but this now they have I
So
have to at least see a clip.
I'm the opposite. I will not go and see this because I think it's shameless cash grabbing and kind of outrageous. And the reason I'm kind of straight onto this straight away is because there has been it's a quote I shared with you guys already, but I feel like it's worth sharing publicly because it's just the whole where will this end? So Mark Rosler, who is the CEO of CMG Worldwide, who I'll
Mhm.
explain who that is in a minute, he said in relation to this whole thing that this opens up a whole new opportunity
Oh
for many of our clients who are no longer with us. And his company, CMG Worldwide, controls the likenesses of Burt Reynolds, Christopher Reeve, and many others. So, Neil Armstrong, the astronaut. So
Oh no, Buzz
just
Aldrin
think
wouldn't let
on
that shit happen.
that. That is what I'm worried of. Like, where does it end? They're just going to start like CGI regenerating all these people. And I guess, in fairness, they would probably have to have some family member sign off on it somewhere. But just no.
Okay,
That's
what
just,
I'm
I
interested
want to
now.
die and be left alone. I
Yeah,
mean, this is
I'm
me being like, of course,
interested.
because I'll become the next Christopher Reeve. No, but you know what I mean? Like, if I'm dead, I want to be dead.
Yeah.
And I believe as well, someone was tweeting in response to this that part of Robin Williams' will was that no one would be allowed to use his likeness, his voice, anything
Mm.
for 25 years after his death. And now I'm thinking, Paul Robin, was 25 years long enough?
No,
Like,
Yeah.
it's only going to get better. They're going to
like hopefully, in fairness, I'm pretty sure his family would never agree to it because this is the man who, really brought it with Disney when Disney went against his wishes with all the merchandise for Aladdin. So, like, the guy, like, credit to him for thinking of this. It's sad that he had to, but I don't know if 25 years is going to protect him long enough.
Yeah, it
what I'm
very
interested
well might
in
not
is
be.
the Truman Show like movie where all these like CG dead actors are like living beings and they have emotions, and then we have to see like the sad James Dean hologram have emotions, and like I'm just into like the movie about all of this is much better than the actual thing. Like
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait
I
for
mean, yeah,
that.
maybe I'd be less offended if it's actually going to be a good film. I don't know.
and I think that's half the issue with this, and not to discredit anyone, because Tori, I definitely agree with you. I'm not going to go see this. I'm only going to see what it looks like, just the weird image. But I do think this is it's weird, and it blows my mind.
Mm.
Especially the reactions from people and all of that. That's more surprising as well.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. We should have seen this coming. I guess we kind of did, but it doesn't
Still,
need.
it's not what I expected to greet me
Yeah,
on Twitter
I
a few
did,
days ago.
I wouldn't have been surprised if this was something that was eventually gotten to after, people were like, well, we're gonna re CGI all of Carrie Fisher into this Star Wars movie, or a bunch more things like that, as opposed to just immediately like whole movie James Dean. Like, we're going extreme here. This isn't a James Dean cameo. The guy that died in 1955 is going to be in a movie in 2020. Just fully put in there as a full character. it's just it's from 0 to 100 in an instant.
Yes. And by the
Whatever.
way, I've just read that the film is about the abandonment of more than 10,000 military dogs at the end of the Vietnam War. So, people who are going to see Midway are probably going to go and see this film too.
Great.
Now
Great.
I'm just upset the whole cast isn't CG people, like a CG Betty Davis. You know what? Just
Yeah, do it. Just
go
all
full
of
crazy.
them.
You might
Yeah.
as well literally like
Pitch it, EJ.
I want Orson Welles to be there. Like
Oh,
I
by the
actually
way,
feel like Orson
you
Welles
just
would be into
mentioned
this.
Bette Davis. Guess what? Mark Rosler controls the likeness and image for her
Oh
too. Yay!
no.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Let's do it. Do it up. Let's get Brando in there.
Oh, I don't know if he has Brando. I could raise you with Jack Lemmon or Ingrid Bergman.
Yeah.
some of these people, I'm like, but who would go see an Ingmar Bergman like 2021 movie? Like, nothing against
I
like,
would love to see a film with Ingrid Bergman in, but maybe one where she'd given her permission and consent and actually wanted to be in it.
Yeah.
Is that too much
We
to
can get
ask?
what's his name? We can get Bogart in there.
now I'm curious though, will actors start signing their rights away for this early though? Not this really does open up a can of worms for so much thing. Like, will actors
Yeah.
act want to be like, The Rock is obsessed with being in movies. Will he be like, nah, I want to be in movies until like movies are over? So he's gonna start going in like green screen rooms and start
Yeah.
saying shit to
Yeah,
people.
$200
Like,
million,
Yeah.
and you can use this after I die.
Some people may be very pragmatic and say, they'll sign away their rights before they die, or they'll give them to their family, and they'll say, you can flog my image to death for as long as it makes you a couple of $1 million.
Yeah, it's a strange can of worms, and honestly, I hope this happens and everybody's just weirded out enough that it doesn't happen again. It
Yeah,
might be
Yeah.
it might be good that this is the first place they're going, as opposed to like slowly easing us into this.
yeah. When he's like weird, robotically walking through everything, and we're like, I don't like this uncanny valley
Yeah,
human. I'm good.
yeah, this is gross. Stop. I'm done. Yeah, this is probably the best thing that could have happened now that I'm thinking about it.
Just rip the band-aid off and make it really bad so we put the band-aid back on.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, can't wait for this movie. That's called Finding Jack. It's about dogs after Vietnam, a war that James Dean was well dead before it started.
That's even better. Oh, what a mess. This whole thing is just an absolute disaster, and it's so funny in the worst way. Like, it's a pure WTF Hollywood moment, and good job, Hollywood. We haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks for giving us 20, 30 minutes of content. We really appreciate it.